Hi, everybody. It's Gene Simmons, and you're not, and you're listening to the Potter Than Hell podcast with Steve, BC, BB, and Dylan. But you knew that, didn't you?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Potter Than Hell podcast. This is your last stop on the crazy train of hard rock and heavy metal. So sit back, buckle in, and hang on. Here we go.
Hello, Potter Than Hellions. Welcome back to the Potter Than Hell podcast. This is take number 2, by the way, and joining me from his new man cave is...
Sonny.
All right, and from his regular recording area, we have...
Hey, it's Brad.
Hey, guys, welcome back. As you see by the title, we usually call these 2x2, but this is going to be 2x3. The first bulk of the Maiden albums that I've done with Aaron Martell. He was unable to continue doing that, so I figured I'll make it a trio instead of a duo. So I have these two fifth Beatles of the Potter Than Hell podcast, and so I figured I'd ask these guys if they were interested in doing it, and I know they're both Maiden fans. Of course, Brad saw Maiden with us last year in Philadelphia, and I know Sonny, because we've had Sonny on it in an early episode. Sonny used to do Maiden stuff with us too. So how's it going there, Brad? How are you, buddy?
Things are good. Yeah, plugging along with the Slamfest podcast. What's funny is, I just had you guys on for that regret episode not too long ago. So things are good.
Good. How about you, Sonny? How's the new house, the new job, everything? How's it going?
Texas is going well. The new job is what it is. It's work. And, here we're still unpacking boxes a little bit, trying to get the man cave done. It's bigger than the man cave I had, but not as big as the basement I had in Wisconsin. So trying to figure out, just where shit goes. This is the fun part, right? So
yeah, it looks good. We were talking before we started recording. I was kind of trying to look around Sonny to see what's new, because that's a total different configuration. You don't, can't see as many of the guitars, but you can see kind of a little. But like the back wall is further away, so it's tough to tell what you have up on the walls behind you.
Yeah.
So
that's that Destroyer picture with Paul showing all his glory with his shirt, right? That's the big Destroyer picture. That's an Aikman jersey next to it, and then there are the 4. Remember those 4 things you could get at Spencer's, those huge ones?
Oh, the big dolls,
yeah.
That I could tell. Yeah. You can't don't mix Cowboys in with Kiss, please.
Dude, come on.
I know, come on. Anyway, so before we get going, today is the 16th of October, and just maybe half an hour before we started to record, it was made known officially that Ace Frehley had passed away from complications, I guess, from a fall he had last month. And so I figured we would be remiss not to talk about that a little bit. And Sonny, what was your initial thing? I know there was stuff flying around all day, rumors and people saying he was dead and life support and everything like that. So what was your initial thoughts here?
Yeah, I got a call this morning from a close friend that's close to the situation, and basically that person shared, "Hey, Ace is done." And I'm like, "Oh, that sucks." He's up there in age, I get it. My initial reaction was sadness, obviously, but then I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to keep it to myself. I mean, I got all kinds of friends that would be interested in this news. But reality of the situation is it's not my news to give. It's somebody else's news to give, right? And I was about to say I want to spread goodness, even though all I do is spread hate over these fucking albums I got to listen to because some shithead picks the wrong albums every goddamn time. But that's beside the point. But I'm trying to spread positivity.
Oh, good. Yeah, okay. You're just a big squirt bottle of sunshine.
Yeah. But, so I was sad, but it's not my news to give. So then rumors started all day. I already knew the end because the family hadn't said anything. But about 10 minutes ago, Rolling Stone put something out, and the family had something to do with Rolling Stone. And then finally, Ultimate Classic Rock put it out. So Ace is officially gone, according to everybody.
Yeah. How about you, Brad?
Yeah, so I want to say about 3:00 today, Craig, one of the Slamfest guys on our text chain, sent a text saying, "Did Ace pass away?" And as soon as I, started looking and see, there was nothing. There wasn't a lot out there. It was really kind of bizarre, almost like, over the next hour or two, just even there was like nobody, I usually see nonstop Kiss stuff, on my feed, and there was nothing. And because I don't think anybody wanted to post anything or spread rumors or anything. So, but then, yeah, obviously hour ago, everything started coming out. But yeah, we were just talking before you hit record. I mean, somebody falling at at his age. I mean, as soon as that happened, I was like, yeah. And then you heard nothing, right, for the last 3 weeks or whatever. So it wasn't going to end. It wasn't going to end well. So bummed. Obviously, going to the Kiss event in Vegas, which that kind of puts a new, somewhat of a new spin on that weekend a little bit with this news.
Yeah. Kind of same thing with me, like and Sonny's part of our one text group, the Monsters of Rock Cruise guys. And, the rumors started, and you seen a couple things here on Facebook and stuff like that. I was on the road for work today, so I couldn't really, I was just kind of having my Bluetooth read the text as they were coming along, and I was, kind of answering as I could. So I wasn't really privy to anything. So I threw on, it was like when Eddie Trunk was on the air, and up until a certain point, he hadn't said anything, and he was taking phone calls. And by the time that I had to go to the funeral home after I got done running around and stuff like that, so I didn't get a chance to listen to it, and I just caught the very end of it. And he's, and it wasn't official yet, and he was saying that it's like Sonny said, it's not his news to give. If it was official, and he said he would make a statement once they. If anything, he said if anything was, so he didn't really, covertly say, something was going on. So, but I'm sure he was privy to that because he's in with those guys too. So, but gave us a lot of years of entertainment. These last couple of years were not great, I don't think. There were times where I was embarrassed for him. Playing some shows and stuff like that. But like Ryan and Jeremy and Scott, I mean, they lifted him up. I mean, they, pretty much put him on their shoulders and, carried him through those shows. And, and you're right, at that age, you have a fall like that, you're just fucked. You are just screwed. Yep. And but, we had him for 50 some years of the 74 years he was alive. So, rest in peace, Ace, and we'll celebrate by talking about some Iron Maiden tonight.
There you go.
Yeah. So before we get into it, last week's episode was a Kiss Crew episode, which we actually did not record yet. We had it scheduled, and with everything going on with Ace, it will probably be an Ace-centric episode, which it was not going to be. It's not like we made a special episode because of that. We were already scheduled to record on another topic, but I'm sure we will just do something Ace-centric for the Kiss Crew. So, stand by for that. So this will be the week after the Kiss Crew episode. So before we get into it, what have you been listening to? Sonny, how about you? I know you sent us something that I just didn't get a chance to listen to. What do you got going, buddy?
Yeah, so there's a band out there called the Sunset Sinners, Kansas band, kind of one of those gritty blues rock, a little bit of a 70s flair to it. They just released their third album called Chaos a couple of months ago, and there's a song out there that I would suggest people they try it. It's called The Closer, and it's probably I would say the best song on that album, although the album's it's in my bucket to possibly make top 10, top 20 for the year. If you like The Closer, then I would try out If You Know, and Meant to Be. Sunset Sinners, Kansas band. If you like, let's see, Dirty Honey, you're going to like these guys, right? It's got that kind of gritty blues, which is cool.
Okay. Now, do they have kind of like a Hammond organ sound going in there too, or is it
A
just
little
pretty
bit,
much straight up guitars?
a little
Okay.
bit hit and miss, right? So that's where kind of the 70s comes in. So there's a little Deep Purple to it, but it's still got that grit.
Okay, because there's a band that came out a couple of years ago, and they haven't done anything since that I've seen, called Blood of the Sun. And how you describe them kind of reminds me of them. So if I'll get back to you after I listen to that, and I'll tell you if it sounds like those guys. Because if it's what I think it's going to be, you would like those guys too.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. How about you, Brad? What do you got going, buddy?
Yeah, every time you're asking me this, it's always revolving around the podcast, right? Stuff that I'm prepping for. So Thursday we're recording. So I just dropped a Queen episode this morning. So I was listening to quite a bit of Queen and then some Sammy Hagar, and specifically, Hagar is kind of interesting the way that his discography, whether it's Sammy Hagar solo or the Circle or the Wabaritas, right? So it's like the 2000s were technically the Wabaritas. So I'm focusing on that kind of era, and then been listening to some Eddie Money as well. So different stuff, kind of all over the board.
All right, and for me, I've been kind of just it's cooler out now, and so I'm in the house more. I'm not on the porch at night, so I've been kind of spinning some vinyl, watching some of the. Anymore it seems like maybe Wednesday is the only night that there's really not any football on or something like that. So between watching NFL Thursday, Sunday, Monday, and then with the baseball playoffs now, so this is the time of year where my TV gets the most use. But I turn the sound down and I'll spin some vinyl. So I've been spinning a lot lately. So I have the new Sammy Hagar, the Live from the Residency. And it's pretty much the same set list that we saw on the tour this year. Sounds fantastic, man. Just like Joe Satriani just absolutely fucking crushes it on that stuff, whether it be the Van Halen stuff, the Sammy stuff, just absolutely stellar. The band is fantastic. Kenny Arnoff is the drummer for that. And I want to say when I saw them, Jason Bonham was still with them. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, that's who was drumming when I saw it too.
Right, because I think we saw them.
Saw it
pretty close together. And it was still Jason Bonham.
Yep.
But I think when they went to the residency, I think that Kenny Arnoff came in.
Yeah,
that's when that kind of took place. So I had listened to some Live Sabbath, Live Evil, Kiss Alive 2, Alice Live, Blue Oyster Cult 50th anniversary, second night I spun the other night. So just kind of hitting live stuff this week. And I was just, for Ace, I just spun the 3/4 of the 78 solo album right before we came on here. So that's what we got going. So Sonny's listening to the Sunset Sinners. The song is The Closer that he kind of keyed on there. And if you know, was one of the other songs. And Brad had some Queen, some Sammy Hagar, mostly Barbarita area. So I kind of see where he's going with that. And then some Eddie Money. So that's what we got going. So let's talk some Maiden. Last episode I did was with Aaron. It was a while ago. It was might have been 2024, I think maybe was the last one I did with Aaron. So the last ones we did Number the Beast and we did Peace of Mind. So we are going to do Powerslave this time, and then we're going to do Live After Death. So starting with Powerslave, released September 3rd, 1984. It's 51 minutes and 12 seconds. Produced by Martin Birch, was recorded at Compass Studios down in the Bahamas, where they did Peace of Mind. So they pretty much had the same setup, but it's funny too, because like same studio, same everything. And like this album could not sound any more different than Peace of Mind. I remember when it came out. So like I was a full-fledged Maiden fan by then, because I had been a fan before Peace of Mind came out, but Peace of Mind was the first album that came out when I was actually a fan. So Powerslave was my second one. So, and I remember when this came out, I was working at a grocery store. It was probably 6 or 7 miles from where I live. So it was always, and I wasn't driving yet. It was 1984. And so I would have to get a ride to work and back. And I was working a Saturday, and Powerslave would come out that week. And I didn't get a chance to get to our store in town, but there was a great store that had a great record department. Like adjacent to where I worked. So, and it was weird because that day I didn't have a ride home. So I would kind of had to figure shit out for myself. So I walk over there, grab Powerslave, and I'm just kind of looking at it. And I saw one of my parents' friends. So I asked him. So he gave me a ride home. God, rest in peace, Carlo. He just passed away this year too. We're super nice guy. So he gave me a ride home. And I remember, we're talking on the way home, and I'm thinking, drive faster when I get home and listen to this fucking album. Because the cover, we can talk about the cover too. It's got I got my copy here. Got the Egyptian theme to it, the pyramid with the Eddie but like if you look at the scale of that album cover, if that was like real, it would be so fucking huge. That would be bigger than probably bigger than the actual pyramids, or possibly just right to scale. Because like the guys there, you can see they're carrying the sarcophagus up the steps. Especially in contrast to Peace of Mind, where you had the dark, like the burnt orange and the brown and the kind of darker thing. Like this album is like totally bright compared to the last one with your like sand colored stuff and the blue and everything like that. So that's my kind of thing with this album. Sonny, how about you? What's your history with this one?
So I came into Maiden at Somewhere in Time. It was Wasted Years on MTV that got me. So then I went backwards. So I probably got this album, I would say late 80s. When I started making a little bit of money, because I distinctly remember what my second album purchase was, and we'll talk about that in a little while. I was going to go see Maiden live, and so I wanted to know as many songs as I could. The issue is by the time I'm at Somewhere in Time, they got 5 other albums, so I don't got the bread to go buy 5 other albums, right? So it's like, okay, so how do I kind of hear what I need to hear if I go see him live? By the way, the first time I saw Maiden live, Somewhere in Time tour, opening band, Vinnie Vincent Invasion.
There you go.
It's an interesting show. Let's put it that way.
Wow, that had to be a hell of a show. 86. So that'd be the first album, right?
Yeah, and two totally, because I don't know what you're going to get with Maiden, right? You see it on MTV a little bit, but you don't really know. And I'd only seen the Vinnie video maybe once or twice, and they're 2 completely different type of bands.
That's a crazy show.
Yeah, crazy, just 2 different kind of fans.
Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, I didn't get this till the late 80s, but I enjoyed the album first time I heard it. Cover-wise, I like the ancient Egyptian theme. I think the colors pop and all that. But in the realm of Maiden album covers, this is actually one of my least favorite. Now,
Too much going on?
Huh?
Too much going on?
Not too much going on. Just it's not enough almost going on, and it's not like in your face. Like I love Angry Eddie, right? Like I want that to come out. There's lightning bolts and things flying off of them, that kind of stuff. Or I want it futuristic, right? But this album cover is not one of my favorite Maiden album covers. But then you put it up against non-Maiden album covers. It's like, well, this album cover's awesome, right? So It's just one of those things.
All right. Brad, how about you?
Well, so it's interesting that you invited me on this particular episode for these 2 albums, because this is when I entered kind of into Maiden. Powerslave was the first, or the album that was coming out new when I was aware of them. I was aware of Peace of Mind from my brother, and then this comes out on my 12th birthday, on the day of my 12th birthday, which is interesting. The cover, I like the variety that Maiden, they kind of go through different themes with all their stuff. So I like the variety. I do like the other stuff a little bit better though, Sonny, but I do like that they mix it up. And funny story. So Andy and Mike, who are Slamfest crew members, they learned hieroglyphics in middle school so they could exchange notes and nobody knew what they were talking about. So that is a diehard Maiden. I mean, that'd be a Maiden nerd, right? So that's
a person that's old as fuck. Like, who the hell teaches that in school?
I have no idea how they taught themselves hieroglyphics, which is just a riot, just a riot. But that's my history. So it's pretty much real time with both of these albums.
All right, so let's get into the tracks. I'll do. Let's see. Let's do it side by side.
That'll break it up a little bit.
Yeah, we'll break it up that way. Side one opens up with Aces High, just that great Maiden build. I love the production right off the bat. You get that. I love that bass pluck, that like at that in between the drum hits. Another World War II song we had, Where Eagles Dare, on Peace of Mind. So this one takes to the skies, pretty much about the Battle of Britain in 1940. We did the last one. I talked about the Where Eagles Dare, the movie, one of my favorite movies of all time. And the movie Battle of Britain is another one of my favorite movies of all time. I must have seen this movie probably 30 times. And like, it's just, it captures that angst that, you know, they're running to the planes, they're getting up there, you know, they're going to be in the dogfights with the Germans coming. And musically, the solos are just goddamn friggin' ripping. Dave starts the solo, then Adrian goes into it. The back and forth is great. I love the running, scrambling, flying. There's like a lot of moving parts in this song, but it totally captures what they're trying to do on this one. Written by Steve Harris, by the way. And it goes into track number 2, 2 Minutes to Midnight. Just another absolute Maiden classic. That choppy riff at the beginning is just absolutely killer, instantly recognizable. The drum field, how it just kind of builds, and then when the band kicks in, just absolutely killer. I love the Nico's drum fills, and it's so cool that because like now, like it seemed like he's got his niche in the band, you know, like not that he didn't on Peace of Mind, but I think he really cements his place in Iron Maiden on this one. This is a great song for me to air drum to. I love it. Dave has the first solo in it. Then Adrian kicks in, a little more convoluted there. Just a killer track. I was able to pick up the 12-inch single of this one. It has the painting of Eddie where he's kind of sitting at the war-torn UN, and it's got the mushroom cloud in the back, and he's got like the headband on. Absolutely kick-ass, single album cover. And Adrian Smith on this last tour, one of his guitars was that album cover when he played on that tour. Just absolutely fantastic. Lost for Words, and this is the first instrumental since I think you could count it as Genghis Khan on Killers. She had Transylvania on the first one. Got a couple little things, musical things on Killers, but like pretty much since Genghis Khan, Lost for Words, big aura, written by Steve Harris. Every time I hear this song, there's that. I don't know if you guys ever had it. It's the DVD of the Visions. I think it's Visions of the Beast. I think where it has all the videos, and I think it came out in between Virtual 11 and
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And X Factor, because there's some Blaze Bayley stuff on there. But when you pull up the menu, when you first pop that DVD in, the music is this. And I remember watching it at the firehouse, and I would kind of sometimes doze off, and it would just play over. So it's kind of drilled into my head. Cool instrumental. I mean, it's fun. It's just there. I think they played it live maybe 2 or 3 times, maybe, and it's pretty cool. It's not bad. It's not a skipper, but not one that I'm going to go to or throw on a playlist. And then Sonny, we talked about. I think we had you on an album. An episode way back, and we talked about this album too. We get the first of the sword fighting songs, Flash with a Blade. I like this one though. It's not bad. And actually, Bruce played this when we saw him about a month ago solo. This was the one Maiden track that he played, and it was great. And no introduction, like he just he just got that riff, and everybody's like, ah. So I mean, at least he got one Maiden song, and I'm glad he didn't do a Aces High or 2 Minutes to Midnight or Number of the Beast. Like he picked out a deep track that they have not played. Stop and Start guitars, middle part of the song is great. Then we get the next Sword song, The Duelist. And actually, Flash of the Blade was written by Bruce. This one's written by Steve. So I guess he had to get his in as well. So this is this one I don't like. This is one of the few Maiden songs I'm not really a fan of. The bass is killer in it. I don't know. This one does not thrill me to death. Soloing is great in it, but there's just it's just okay for me. It doesn't really do a whole lot for me. So that's side one for me. Sonny, what do you got for side one?
All right. So Aces High, classic song, one of my favorite Maiden songs. Bruce sounds incredible. Such power. The gallops there, the guitars are piercing. I mean, there's not a lot to hate about Aces High. 2 Minutes to Midnight, like if you don't like the first two songs of this album, you probably need to stop listening to Maiden, because this is in the running for two of the best songs to ever start an album, especially in metal. Great vocal melody, again, great guitars. Gotta love that. I was alive for Reagan's Doomsday speech, right? And talking about the evil empire, and that's what this was about, right? And all those drawings that Riggs did on the singles are absolutely amazing. I love that it was a different drawing for each one. So that was kind of cool. Lost for Words. So it's supposed to have lyrics. Get it? Lost for words, right? Yeah. So it was a joke, because it was supposed to have words. I couldn't figure it out. My problem with instrumentals like this is, okay, let's say you can't figure out the lyrics. Okay, whatever, right? I've written lyrics before. I've tried. It's like, okay, I can't do it with whatever that guitar part is. We can't figure it out. Okay, great. Then you got to default to a John 5 vocal melody of the guitar then, at least. Right? It can't just be this is a demo without a vocal then, right? Because there's no guitar melody like keeping you interested. So to me, it's just kind of boring without the guitar melody there, right? So it's so long, it literally comes off as we couldn't write any words to this, so you're basically just not getting a vocal track, but we recorded the rest of it, so here you go. So I don't love it. Flash of the Blade is cute that you think this is one of the first sword fighting songs. You don't think Sun and Steel is sword fighting?
No, I mean on this album.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Yeah, this fascination with fencing. I remember seeing the pictures in the magazines with him with like fencing outfit on. I almost felt embarrassed for the guy. It's like I don't want to see the side of you. The pilot thing is cool. The fencing thing is not cool. I don't know. But
do you guys remember he hosted Heavy Metal Mania in the mid '80s? That they showed him fencing.
Yeah.
Like he was actually in the getup and everything.
Yeah. Avenged Sevenfold does a great cover of this if you've never heard it.
Oh yeah.
But what's interesting to me about songs, and there's not a ton of them in the Iron Maiden world anyway, where Bruce writes it by himself, that he's the only one that gets writing credit, which means he wrote the guitar parts. Right? But here's the problem, right? Just same thing happens in Kiss. It's like Paul wrote the song, but Ace is getting credit for the guitar parts. Paul wrote the song. Ace did not write those guitar parts, right? Ace wrote the solo. That's it. So it's cool that he's got the talent to do something like that, which is great. The only thing with Flash of the Blade is it rivals the first two songs. The melody's just not as good as the first two songs, but it's a good song. Then you got the British film The Duelist, of course. I think Bruce is doing all the backing vocals on this album, because it at least sounds like Bruce. This song's okay, and the dueling guitars are important because it's called The Duelist. Besides the gallop, the song just has never done much for me, right? And I think it has to do with after Aces High and 2 Minutes to Midnight, you want 3 more killer songs, and that's not technically what you get, although they're not bad songs. if that makes sense. So I usually, for playlists, really only the first 2 songs off the first side makes playlists for me.
Brad.
Yeah. So Steve, you mentioned this is a 51-minute album. There's only 8 songs on it,
because
right?
Rhyme is 28 minutes long. Yeah.
Right. So you got one instrumental and you got a 13-minute epic track on it. But yeah, I mean, Ace is high. I love the Maiden. I call them quick hitters, right? Which they have done a lot more most recently with the last 5 or 6 albums. They've always had kind of a quick hitter, but this is awesome. Love the delay on the vocals during the chorus, right? This is about a dogfight, so it's chaos, right? It just comes across and is presented as chaos with all the vocal delay in there. Love it, and that scream at the end. We'll talk about how he does on the live version when we get to that album. But yeah, that scream is epic. 2 Minutes to Midnight, like you guys have said, great 1-2 punch. But man, oh man, 2 Minutes to Midnight was in the set list. I'm not sure. I can't remember when it fell out of the set list. So I was having some fatigue actually with this song as I was seeing Maiden on every tour, basically after Seventh Son. Great song. I mean, everyone talks about Wasted Years and Can I Play with Madness as their commercial time. This is a commercial song. This is a radio song. Hell, even Flight of Icarus was a commercial song. So they were dabbling in it, kind of prior to those albums. Lost for Words. I'm not a huge instrumental guy, but I think it's cool. Would have been interesting with some lyrics if we would have gotten some heavy bass playing and some serious drumming in there. So that's cool. Flash of the Blade. So my note was the intro kind of sounds like something Megadeth it kind of would do later. For whatever reason, I was thinking about Megadeth when I was re-listening to this.
I can tell you the reason, because Megadeth sucks and they were trying to sell albums. That's the reason.
So I saw Zach Sabbath, late last year, probably late 24, maybe early 25. Iron Maiden's opened and they played Flash of the Blade, which, you know what, that hearing that song live, gave me a better appreciation for it. I'm actually a fan of it. I like the song. Duelists, you guys have already kind of said it's kind of it almost sounds like a holdover from Peace. I mean, it sounds like an Iron Maiden song, just not a very good one. I don't love the chorus. The breakdown and soloing's good, and the instrumentation at the end post solo is good, but definitely the weakest track on the first. Probably weakest track on the whole album, but hard to beat the first 2 tracks on side 1.
All right, so we will flip over Powerslave, get to side 2. Opening track on there, Back in the Village, written by Adrian Smith and Bruce Dickinson. Not another Sword song, so we're good now for a little bit on this. I like this one. I'm not crazy about the lyrics, and the way Bruce sings this kind of reminds me of what you're going to get like down the road, like on No Prayer for the Dying and Fear of the Dark. It's got that little more raspiness to it on this track. Some really cool dual guitar harmonies in there. Solos are short. From Dave starts first, and then Adrian comes in. I don't go to this song often, but it's kind of refreshing to hear it every now and then, and which I don't mind. It's a good, decent deep track. One that doesn't like if it comes up on. Like if I just bring up Iron Maiden and hit, shuffle, if it comes up, it's not one that I'm going to turn off, and it's just going to be one that's going to be like, oh, kind of cool. I haven't heard this one in a while, but it's not one that I really, really go back to a lot, but still enjoyable. And this side only has 3 songs on it. Brad talked about it before. Title track next, Powerslave, written solely again by Bruce. And this one kind of reminds me a little bit of, like Revelations Part 2 from Peace of Mind. It kind of has that feel. You definitely get the Egyptian feel in there. The guitar lines I love you get the sound effects, and then you get and the drums come in. Absolutely love that. I love when Bruce comes in, like how he says, "Into the abyss I fall." I love how he sings that. I'm a slave to the power of death. I love when he sings, for he is a man. What is it? For he is a man and a god, and he will die too. I love that line, and you get those Egyptian type guitar harmonies throughout, like parts like that in the song. I love how it slows down for the solo section, and you get that kind of bluesy solo from Dave, and then it builds back in, and then like just boom, it just like comes back in and just like rips off your head. The soloing is fantastic. We'll talk about this song visually when we talk about Live After Death, but like Adrian's part when that comes back in is one of my favorite Maiden solos of all time. I love when that part just comes back in. Great intense song. I love it. Slave to the Power of Death at the end is just fantastic. And then Rime of the Ancient Mariner. I know Sonny does not like long epic songs. I know he's not a fan of this stuff, but this one, the timing that this came out was just incredible. That it really helped me and my buddy out like the next year. We were believe it or not, Sonny, we were in an advanced placement English class. I see the face. I swear to God, we were. we weren't exactly kicking ass in there, but we were holding our own. So at the one point, we were going over epic poems and stuff like that. And Rime of the Ancient Mariner made my buddy like, this is our time to fucking shine. So we got 100 on the test for it, and teacher handed out the grades. Class is over. He said, I need to see you, and I need to see you. So me and my buddy. So we're like, what's up? He goes, I don't know how you guys cheated on this test. He goes, but there's no way in hell you were getting 100. And we're like, listen, it's Iron Maiden. He's like, what? He said, there's a song, and it's this. And he's like, I want to see it. So we literally had to bring it in and show him this song and the lyrics for it. So thank you, Steve Harris, by the way. But I love this song. I didn't get to see this song. I did not get to see Iron Maiden. I saw them in '83. I didn't get to see them again until Brave New World tour.
2000.
Yeah. So I never got to see this song performed live. So maybe when they did I want to say they did that tour right before Final Frontier came out, and they did this. I swear I had tears in my eyes when they played this live, because I never ever thought I would get to see this song live. I love how that there's actual lyrics taken from the actual text of the poem. Water, water everywhere. Now to drop the drink, water, water everywhere. I just love how that's in there. And the middle part I could kind of do without, with the creaking of the ship and the seagulls and all that shit. And then, by the star dog and moon, that part's kind of cool, the narration and that. But this is another song that just like builds back in. And then when it gets going, and this is another one we could talk about visually live, but like, it's just like one of those songs that I love, and I will never not listen to the whole song. But it's like 12 or 13 minutes long, and for me, it doesn't seem that long. Sonny's probably like, it seems twice as long, but so that's what I got for side 2. So Brad, we'll go with you with side 2 first on this one.
Yeah. So again, funny, great story about the test and the Rime of the Ancient Mariner, and the aforementioned Mike. Andy and Mike that I was talking about. Mike has always said Iron Maiden makes you smarter. So that's a perfect example. And again, speaking of Mike, I heard Back in the Village thousands of times. That's one of his favorite songs. So just, growing up with him, middle school, high school, heard it a ton. Kind of reminds me of, it's kind of like the Die With Your Boots On of of this album, for Peace of Mind. Those two songs kind of sound similar to me. Love love it that it's just Bruce, sometimes, no backing vocals in there, and dig that song. Powerslave title cut. Steve, you already talked about the intro, which is creepy and scary with that laugh and everything. But that bass line, man, do 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 do, so good throughout. And the chorus, you got those underlying ahs and Bruce singing over it. Great breakdown, melodic kind of solo, going into kind of a ripping solo there. Great song. Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. So I'm not a huge fan of long epic songs. So I love Rhyme because it's 3, well-defined different parts of the song. So it's not just 13 minutes long of just a bunch of stuff kind of going all over the place. It's here's part 1, sailing on and on and on across, north across the sea and all of that. The mellow part. Yeah, it may go on a little bit too long, but very mood setting. My God, you feel like you're on a fucking ship just by the sounds that they're making with their instruments, but then the sound effects as well. And then, like you said, Steve, and we can talk about it on the live album, but bam, when it kicks in, just awesome, perfect kick in for a live setting, and we'll talk about it when we get to Live After Death. But yeah, love it. And I'm not a huge fan of long songs. So, Sonny, your turn.
Okay, Back in the Village. Supposed to be a sequel to The Prisoner from Number of the Beast. That's technically what it's supposed to be. Vocal melodies much better in this song than the previous couple of songs we talked about. Song basically punches you in the head. And I love the way the song ends when he's like, back in the village, right? Like it. That's kind of cool. Powerslave being Revelations Part 2 is absolutely the worst explanation of Powerslave I've ever heard in my fucking life, because Revelations sucks hard.
Oh, dear.
So there is no way this is Part 2.
Here,
and by the way, you're on mute.
Steve.
And by the way, you're on mute there, the big ass fucking...
Oh, you're lucky.
Fucking boomer.
Shut the fuck up.
So Powerslave, great guitar melody. I love what the song is about, because the song is really about 2 different things. It's about the Pharaoh is wondering why people want him to die, because he's supposedly supposed to be a god. But then also Bruce is kind of singing at it from his own point of view of being a rock star. So he's putting himself in the Pharaoh's shoes, which that's kind of cool. Again, we talked about written by Dickinson, so that means he did all the guitar parts, which that's goddamn good right here. And it's an epic piece. I have not heard Maiden do it a lot, but every time I see a Maiden cover band, they do Powerslave, including the Maidens. The Maidens have done Powerslave, right? So it's interesting that that the real bands kind of punted on it, but the cover bands keep doing it. Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. So I've said it before. Maiden is the only one that I let get away with these long songs, right? Most bands, even Maiden's pushing it, to be honest with you, but most bands, I can't handle these long songs. And it's partly what Brad said. It's 3 distinct songs just kind of jammed together. I don't know if I need the Halloween movie soundtrack in the middle. I'm not sure I need that either. Dave, Bruce, and Steve has said this is one of their favorite songs to play live, so they like the 13-minute shit. My guess is Bruce likes it because it gets a little bit of a break, right? And the other guys get to like set the mood kind of thing, which I guess that's great. I was thinking today, I'm like, Samuel Taylor Coolidge, who wrote the poem, he wrote it in the 1800s. So by the time this comes out, right, you're talking about his estate is dealing with it. They must have been wondering, like, why do all these rockers want to hear about this fucking poem all of a sudden? Right? Like, because to me, I remember the girls had just learned about Icarus at school. So they come home, we're having dinner one night, and the girls are telling me about, my girls are telling me about, well, we learned about this thing called Icarus. I know who Icarus is. And then I tell the story, they goes, How do you know who Icarus is? It's because I listen to Iron Maiden. Because I get all my history lessons from Iron Maiden. So same story. But rhyme works for me. I had read the poem before I had heard the song, so there was a connection anyway. Does it need to be 13 minutes? I don't know. But it is 3 distinct songs, so that's okay. And I don't like... we got some of these bands I know that you two listen to that's got the part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. It's a 28-minute song. Dude, I don't need that bullshit. Just put it together. If it works, if it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
All right.
I think Sonny's talking about Rush.
or Dream Theater. Or Dream Theater. One or both. Or both. For sure. But yeah, I really enjoy this album, but it doesn't hit my top albums of Maiden.
Same thing with me. Yeah,
I love it. Never. It's one that I pull out of the pile over there. Maybe once or twice a year, or if we're doing something like this. But like it's one of the Maiden albums that doesn't hit my turntable a lot. But like you said, you've heard. Aces High and 2 Minutes to Midnight a billion times live. You've heard Powerslave and you've heard Ride Me the Ancient Mariner a bunch of times. Like the other ones you don't really hear, but like they're not go-to songs because the other ones are so good.
Yeah.
I think that's what the thing with that is. So,
yep.
So before we get into Live After Death, Sonny is going to intro our gem song today.
All right. So you guys are going to have to open your minds here a little bit because this song is by a band called Sick and Beautiful. So basically what this band is like Italian shock rock. So if you were to go look them up, it's a little overdone. It's a little bit Alice Cooper. It's a little bit Beasto Blanco on the weird side. It's like they're from some planet that landed here in a pod. They learned how to speak English, blah, blah, blah. Like they really do it up. There is a story to the whole thing. They did a movie to the whole thing. But they're getting bigger, especially in Europe. And, the female lead singer is easy on the eyes. Band's a little weird, and they're trying really hard. But every once in a while, now not all their music is this way, but every once in a while, they'll hit on like such a catchy tune. So here's one of those tunes. This is called Hate Manifesto.
Kicking me down all the day you fucking reckon and it's coming
All right, welcome back. Hope you guys enjoyed Hate Manifesto from Sick and Beautiful that Sonny picked out. And thank you, Sonny. Appreciate it. And so let's get back into it here. We're going to do a little Live After Death. I remember when this came out. Awesome cover. And Sonny mentioned before, too, that he thought the Powerslave album cover itself was kind of, I don't know, placid, maybe you may say, compared to like some of the other ones, though. But Derek Riggs make a huge fucking comeback on this one, because this one is awesome. It's in Powerslave, you kind of get maybe that they're taking Eddie up in the sarcophagus, but like he busts out of the grave on this one. Clothes are torn. You can see his ribs. It's like he's getting some lightning bolt down to the bolt that he has on his head from his lobotomy. His hair has grown back from Peace of Mind. Just like absolutely fantastic, and it actually opens up to a full painting if you open it up fully to the back cover too. You have the Grim Reaper in there. You have the cities burning, getting struck by lightning, and you have the tombstone behind Eddie, and it has "Here lies Edward T." and it's probably head afterwards, R.I.P. And then it has a thing from H.P. Lovecraft. That is not dead, which can eternal lie, yet with strange eons, even death may die. So, very cool cover. The gatefold, the inside is absolutely spectacular. When we talk about the visuals of the songs as we go, they of course had the DVD now, but the VHS tape that went with it, the Live After Death, the concert, the Long Beach Arena concert, this whole album. The Long Beach Arena shows were recorded in March of 1985, and the Hammersmith side was recorded in October of 1984. So, but like you have this huge Eddie coming out at the end, and the Eddie's got the sparks coming out of his eyes. Steve Harris is in mid jump off the drum riser. Just absolutely cool. It's got pictures on both sides from the tour. The packaging itself is spectacular as well. Each album comes with lyric sheet on it, and then the other flip side of it is just candid shots from the tour, live shots of them in different places. There's ones from like Japan you can see and show some of the outside of the arena, some fans and stuff. And on the album itself, the sticker that has the track listing on it has like the tombstone that you see on the front, but it has all of the songs on the side and who wrote them. And you got the Eddie hand coming up out of the ground with the chain wristband that he had from Peace of Mind is still on there too. And actually they are on his hands on the cover too. You get a booklet from on the inside, has all the tour dates, a lot of pictures, a picture of each, like a montage of each guy, some great angles of the band, has all the tour dates in there. And what I really like about the inside of this booklet is it gives you everything from this tour. It gives you the power from the light system, the monitor system, what they use, how many they use. The tour personnel gives all credit to the tour guys, the roadies, equipment credits. And it even gives what each guy uses, like the guitars that Steve Harris used, the basses that he uses, Dave Murray, Adrian Smith. Gives you a breakdown of Nico's drum kit, what size cymbals and drums he has, tom-toms and everything like that, what kind of sticks he uses. Then you get a daily crew work schedule on the side that kind of gives you a list of how everything is broken down, what time they load in and get everything set and sound check and everything. And then there's another part too that I have to find it here real quick, that it gives you a breakdown of how much stuff they used on this tour. Like it says, like how many gallons of beer they had, how many guitar picks they went through, how many, all the stuff that they used. It's really just a cool breakdown of what they give you of what this tour entailed. And I mean, and they tore the hell out of this album. from Powerslave, and by the time it was done, Bruce was just cooked. I guess he was just really just fried from all the constant touring and everything. And I think that's why when you get into Somewhere in Time for the next album, like Bruce has no writing credits on the next one. So I think he was really just kind of burned out from this tour. So we can, Brad, what's your history with this one?
Well, yeah. So with Powerslave coming out about a year prior to this, right? So yeah, I did not see this tour. The aforementioned Andy and Mike did, and could just remember them talking nonstop about it. And when we found out that this was coming out, because that Omaha show is like the third to last show of the whole tour. If you look at the tour dates, Omaha, Nebraska is like one of the last shows that there was. But yeah, excited for it coming out. Love the album title. I mean, you've been talking about the packaging, and I mean, how awesome is Live After Death? I mean, it's just such a great album title. And as you already mentioned, Steve, the cover's amazing. So love the color scheme and everything with it.
Sonny, how about you?
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I came in at Somewhere in Time. So I'm going backwards. I'm about to see them live. So I'm like, all right, well, I got to get a greatest hits or something. Well, they didn't really have one yet. So I see this live album, and I'm like, man, look at how many songs are on this album. Like, okay, that'll probably give me what I need. So this was possibly the first live album I ever bought with my own money. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because I don't get into music till 84. I'm not even buying live albums, like a live 1, a live 2, and all that. That comes much later for me, right? So I remember putting this thing on going, oh my God, the whole album sounds so huge, right? And then the packaging, dude, EMI, they knew what the hell they were doing. Like any Iron Maiden homer was going to buy every other album after this because the packaging was so goddamn good, right? So they knew that this was a band and a brand, and they figured it out early. Now, later on, we find out that Riggs and Maiden didn't exactly have the best relationship on the way out, which, that's unfortunate. That happens over time because I think it got up into, well, you are who you are because I helped you make it that way. And, a band member goes, well, wait a second, you didn't write any of the songs. Who the fuck are you? That kind of thing.
Right.
So that didn't end too well. But the cover absolutely pops. You see that cover at 16 years old at the record store. Why wouldn't you want it? Now, it was a double album, so it cost a little bit more money. But man, I still got my original. I love that cover, 100%. Colors, it's exact opposite of what I said about the Pharaoh cover, because the Pharaoh cover is a little stale when you look at everything else that they've done. And yeah, this cover, amazing. There's even more Easter eggs. You go to that back page that flips out. There's all kinds of Easter eggs on there. There's a thank you to Grateful Dead in there. There's a Black Cat in there. There's all kinds of stuff in there. So you keep looking, you'll keep finding stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But like I said, EMI knew what they were doing. Derek Riggs knew what he was doing. And part of, if it's not for Eddie, honestly, I'm not a Maiden fan. It's really Eddie that attracted me. Wasted Years got me interested. Eddie cemented the attraction.
And the good thing is, too, I think that the visual of Eddie matches the music. Because, I mean, how disappointed would you have been if you bought this? Oh, my God, look at this cover. And then, it sucked.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? You'd be like, what the fuck, But I think it's a great cover. And you're right. When we saw this in the store, we're like, holy shit! Like, for some reason, we knew it was coming out, but we hadn't seen the cover. So when we saw it, we're like, because usually at that point when we were buying albums, like it would be okay, the new Maiden album's coming out, I'll get it, and we'll see how it is. But then we were all together for some reason that day when we got this. We're like, fuck this shit. We're all buying it because I don't want you to take this album home and have to tell me about it. And it was like the three of us were like, so we all bought it that day. And like, and the next day in school, it's like, holy shit. Like, you know, because it's not like now we had a cell phone, you were texting and all that shit. But it was just like, you bought this and you just played the hell out of it for forever. And when and we talked about it in our chat today, we were kind of Brad was asking what the how the cassette went and stuff. I wasn't sure about the cassette because I know someone had it at some points because once someone started to drive, which that would have been Rob because he was a year older than us. Like we had to have a copy of this to play in the car while we're driving around. So. But then, you know, we did look that up. And then when CDs came out, I got it and I was like, where the fuck is the Hammersmith stuff? Because it went only as far as Running Free. Like, I think Running Free was the last one.
That's the last one.
Yep. Yeah. And that was cut down. Because I mean, even then, because we're not thinking you can only put so much time on a disc. So we were like, where the hell's side 4? You know, so you didn't get that. When you were able to when you got a CD and back then too, you weren't able to burn a CD, you know, off of whatever from another CD or a record because you know what we had to do was double cassette, throw a cassette player in the middle of 2 speakers, record side 4, and that was how we would listen to that part when we were driving around in the car. But like I said, we weren't thinking about limits of sound, you know, and minutes on CDs and stuff like that. And same thing for cassettes. Because remember, you used to be able to get like the really long cassettes, but then after a while, the end it'd be like,
oh yeah, it was so thin. Yeah.
Then they started doing double cassettes, if you remember.
Yeah. Yep.
Then you could buy double cassettes. So when the CDs and the cassettes first came out, there wasn't doubles yet. It came out much later.
Yeah. And cassettes are now. New albums are coming out on cassette now too, which is crazy. BC is a cassette guy. He's like, oh, I ordered the new Megadeth and the cassette. He's like, you getting yours? I'm like, no. He's like, come on. I'm like, no, I got enough shit here. I don't need fucking cassettes too. But they are. Their cassettes are. I won't say they're making a comeback, but they're
coming back.
Manufacturing them again.
Cassettes never did it for me. The artwork. They were portable for a minute, but the CD came so fast that cassettes were dead for me almost immediately. I don't have that many, right? And I just started buying CDs because they were easier to carry around, and I didn't have to worry about my tape deck eating the goddamn tape and then having to spool it with a pencil or whatever.
That sucked, yeah. Yeah, because I mean, but we were listening to, but like you got into stuff much later than we did, so we were, you know, using that medium a lot. So, all right. So let's get into the tracks. I will take side 1. You get the Churchill intro, and I'm going to kind of go along with my visuals of the VHS tape also, because I must have watched that thing 1,000 goddamn times. You get the Churchill, you know, we're going straight in the air. We will defend our island, whatever the cost may be. Like that's one like you.
The least uninspiring speech ever done by a world leader. That guy sounds like he's bored when he's talking.
He pumped up the people over there, though. They fucking loved him.
We will do. And it's like, dude, but have some emotion.
It worked well to intro.
They weren't allowed to have emotion. Yeah. Yeah. And then, and the thing that I think I talked about this on some other episode too, even on here, whenever they did this live, that first part was always recorded from the album.
Yeah.
Yep. Still to this day. And then when it comes in, then the band comes in. So when that comes in, like in your head, like I listen to that on my good headphones, and it's still like you can almost picture like a cartoon where your like headphones pop off your head when it kicks in. The guitars are so crisp. Dave is in the right ear, or Dave's in the left ear. Adrian's in the right ear, and they're so defined in the mix when you listen to this in headphones, and it's so crisp. Ace is high. the soloing in it, and like it just has an energy that is just like undeniable on this. Great opening track. You watch the video. The band's moving around good. Bruce is all over the place. Steve Harris, and I remember when I saw him in '83. Steve Harris is right up there, his foot up on the monitor, singing it along with what Bruce is singing. Then it goes right into 2 minutes to midnight. Perfect. I'm glad they did that. They kept it that way. That went with the album. Just bang bang. First two tracks in the show. First two tracks from the album gives you a good taste of, okay, we're proud of this album. We love it. We're gonna hit you with stuff from this. Then it goes into the Trooper from Peace of Mind. And it's funny, like kind of seeing this now, because this is like in the last 20 years been like a later song, like almost an encore or a set ending song. It wasn't really in the beginning of the set like this. It's like when, remember, was it Hot in the Shade where they did, or Revenge Tour, they did like Rock and Roll All Night, like in the middle of the fucking set. It was like, it doesn't belong there. But but this, it wasn't the metal cry song that it is now. But it was just a song at this point. I think it was just a song from the last album. Fantastic nonetheless. Next track is Revelations, one of Sonny's favorite Maiden songs. I absolutely love this song. The only thing that I fucking hate about this is watching the video. Bruce brings out a guitar that's not even plugged in, and he's like doing when they do he's doing the guitar, like it looks so fucking stupid. But I love Revelations, and Dylan has orders that when I die, he's going to read the beginning of that at my funeral or whatever the fuck. Absolutely love that song. I love when it kicks up. Absolutely fantastic song from Peace of Mind. And it's funny too, because they start off, you got 2 tracks from Powerslave, and then the next 3 tracks are from Peace of Mind. They end up the first side with Flight of Icarus. Just a great song. It was great when they busted this back out for the tour before the last one they did, where Bruce had the flamethrower and they had the big Icarus dude up in the back, and and the way they did it looked great, because like when they at the end, like he fell, like he like burned out of the sky. But just the soloing in that song, and it's got more of a pop feel to it, like more of a not metal, but like more mainstream kind of metal song. So I think it's a great side one, and nothing to skip. Just that the production is fantastic. It's in your face. It's crisp. It's clear. Nico's drums sound fantastic. Steve's bass is right in your face. My bass is in your face. And Bruce's vocals are just are really good on this. What do you think, Sonny?
All right, so Churchill's speech, it's got to be there for Aces High. I'm glad that they continue to do that. It's a good idea. Aces High, dude, it's 1985. Bruce is young, hungry, sounds great live. Band is tight as hell. The guitar solos are great. The dual guitar playing is different. Like what? Just awesome. It's a great opener. Then 2 minutes to midnight, Bruce is working the crowd. You actually get a little bit of real backing vocals. Again, you're going to get great guitar solos because the 2 guitarists that you have. Song's a little longer live on 2 minutes for midnight. Similar to Powerslave, 2 awesome songs to open the show with, just like you said. But we aren't done yet, because you get a trifecta, because you get the Trooper next. And, in Maiden circles, if you think about it, that's 3 hits. Like the 3 of the songs you came to hear, I ride out of the gate, which is great. If you listen to the headphones, Adrian's in one ear, Dave's in the other ear, which is great. And then they're like, I'm 90% deaf in my left ear, so I don't always hear what's going on left ear. But because I don't hear that, I can hear that there's 2 distinct guitar melodies playing that actually create the one guitar melody that you hear. Right? But if you're hearing them separately, they sound so weird separate. But that's what I hear. So I got to listen to this stuff in the car, because otherwise I don't hear whoever's in my left ear. right?
Yeah.
So, but simply awesome song, Revelations, dude. First of all, it's not a great song, and second, it takes all the energy out of it. You could have done Icarus next, and you decided to put Revelations, and the Bruce guitar thing is absolutely stupid. Like,
Absolutely,
how?
100%.
What? I can't believe Steve doesn't go to him and say, "What the fuck are you doing? Stop doing that!" Right? There's no reason for you having a guitar in your hand, right? So ever. There's just some people. Vince Neil, we don't need this piece. Put the guitar down. You look awkward, right? So I don't know. And it's obviously that the Revelations, I guess it bores Bruce too, because he kept talking to the crowd throughout the song. So I don't know. I guess he's bored too. And then I don't know if you noticed, but it's about 3 seconds left in the song, and somebody yells "motherfucker." I think it's Bruce. I think it's Bruce yelling that.
I thought it sounded
mic.
like Nico. I thought it sounded like Nico.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but somebody yells it. And then, of course, you end with Icarus, always kills live. The yelling and screaming that Bruce is doing is great. Is he hitting all the notes he hit on album? No. My guess is some of those notes he hit on the album took him 3-4 times, right? So he changes the melody appropriately because homie's running all over the place. So he's in shape, but he's still out of breath. And some of these notes are not easy to hit. Now, Bruce does that same thing Daryl Hall does sometimes, though. It's like almost too much of a change in the melody, so it's hard to sing along if you want to sing along and you know all the songs. But then you got Dave and Adrian and Steve do the music absolutely perfect. So it's like, okay, this guy's running around. You're going to have to be okay with he's not going to be able to do all the things that he did when he had 18 takes in studio, right? But so to me, 4/5. I could do without Revelations. I wish they would, like Murder of the Rue Morgues there. I'm in, that kind of thing, but I don't love that song.
Brad.
Yeah, so Churchill's speech is great. The playing, the sound effects, all of that just is perfect to start the show. Aces High, 2 minutes to midnight. They're supporting that album. Let's start off with those first two tracks. I mentioned how much I love the vocal delay in Aces High. It's they've got it here, but it's not quite as not as prominent and as much as it is in the studio. I mean, they're doing this live, but it's still great. The other thing, this is before I had seen a concert, right? So I'm listening to a concert, period. So listening to Bruce talk to the crowd, or anyone talk to you listen to a live too, and you hear Paul introducing the songs. All of that I just thought was so amazing that these are real people, and they're talking and introducing the song. So all of Bruce's interjections, I think, are great. We'll get to one here in a second where when he introduces. I think it's Rhyme, right?
Right.
He says something, but of course the epic "Scream for Me, Long Beach," that's prior to Flight of Icarus, and just all of his interjections, I think, are great, which just shows how good of a front man he is. And we'll talk about the Running Free breakdown, which obviously Steve loves because he missed it when it was cut out of the CD. It takes forever, but I think it's great. But anyway, so then you got the Trooper and Revelations. I mean, it is hit. And you guys comment about Revelations kind of slowing things down. I've been thinking about set lists a lot more and how these bands put these things together. You can't go, 5-7 tracks. You're going to kill your audience. You've got to, and the players, think about the guys playing the music. I mean, they've got to take a break at some point. So I see why they've got Revelations in there and the same, as you go through this. I mean, they've got the set list set up pretty well from a flow standpoint. So Scream for Me, Long Beach. That's where it all started. And you guarantee you're going to hear "Scream for Me" whatever town you're in
forever
now. And it all started here. So great first side.
All right, Brad, scream for us on side 2.
Oh, yeah. All right. I'm right back up. So, yeah. So, Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. So, yeah, this is what not to do if a bird shits on you. Right? That's what he says. Kicking this thing. Does anybody understand what that is or why he says that? Does anybody know the answer to what that means?
I don't think
What?
he knows the answer, to be honest with you.
This is what not to do if a bird shits on you.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know what
'cause-
that means.
What does that mean?
Because of the
he's probably
seagulls.
thinking the albatross shits on the mariner, so that's why he fucking kills him.
All right. I got you. Epic version of an epic song. We just talked about this song. And when it kicks in, which we were talking about a little bit there, Steve, it really comes across live, and you can hear the explosions and you can hear Bruce laughing. And I mean, it's awesome. It's awesome. And unfortunately, I've never seen this song performed. I think are they doing it now? Are they doing it on this thing that they're doing now? I can't remember if that's in the set list.
I don't know.
I don't know if they are or not, but I have never seen it performed live, unfortunately. So Powerslave, again, yeah, the sound effects and all that, I believe it sounds like it's more than what's on the album when this thing kicks in, but overall sounds great. And again, we're seven songs in and about to be 8 songs in, still no tracks from the first 2 albums, which again, I came in at Bruce. I like those songs off of the first couple albums with Bruce singing them live, because that's what I heard. That's what I heard first. But before we get to any of those, Number of the Beast closes off side 2. And it's funny though, right? At that intro, because in my dreams, it's always there. Doesn't, he's kind of holding back. He's not letting it loose like he does on the studio version, but he handles the opening scream pretty well. Again, as well as you can out of the studio. But yeah, awesome, epic long song, and then Powerslave and Number of the Beast. Great side 2. Sonny?
Yeah, so Rhyme band is so tight, and Steve is absolutely flying on the bass. And it's one of those things where the song is so long, it goes quiet in the middle, and you'd think you would lose the crowd, but somehow Maiden keeps it interesting enough so they don't lose the crowd, which if you're going to do a long song like that, you're going to have to be a master at that, and it seems like they figured that out early. Powerslave, another longer song, always kills live. Like I said, tribute bands do this all the time. They do it justice. It's a shame that they didn't do Powerslave basically forever in their live sets, but you get to a point where you got too many songs, and you got too many long songs, you can only do so many. Number of the Beast. All right, so the spooky intro, important for the song, even live. The song is definitely a fan favorite. My problem with this song has always been after the scream, that da-na-na-na-na, da-na-na, very Who. Very The Who, which totally turns me off because I fucking hate The Who, right? So it's like from the first time I heard it, I'm like, really? You couldn't do anything? It had to be The Who. It had to be that.
The Who is what?
Poo. The Who is straight up poo. That's exactly what it is. So this song has always got, I love that scream, and then I absolutely hate what happens after the scream. Like, it's a great song. I just wish that part was not in it. But it's a good side too. There's no doubt about it. They're these longer songs in there, taking a little bit of a break, and they're giving the crowd a little bit of a break. And I guess you can't be a breakneck speed the entire time. That's for sure.
Yeah, you got to give the show a little bit of room to breathe, I think. And for me, side 2, and actually, Brad, they are doing Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner and Powerslave
Nice.
on this tour.
Oh, so is the set list 6 songs?
No, it's shit.
Yeah, it's long.
It's like 16 songs, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to be there for 4 hours, Sonny.
Yeah. Yeah, and also they're doing Seventh Son of a Seventh Son also.
Yeah.
That's another freaking 12 or 13-minute song.
Yeah, right.
And Phantom of the Opera is a long one.
Yeah.
They're Powerslave, so they're
crazy.
It's a long set. So yeah, for Rhyme, and actually, if you watch the Live After Death video, the intro to this is from a different night. He kind of gives the story of Samuel Taylor Coleridge, that he wrote the song under the influence of marijuana.
Yeah, that's
he talks about hemp and all that shit. But I love this one live. The visuals are great in that middle part. Like the lighting rigs come down, and it's like just they have all the smoke and the fog, and then when it comes back in, you get the explosions, the down, bow down. Very cool visually. Band, just like Sonny said, they're so tight right now. They're running on all cylinders. Next track, Powerslave. It's weird how they flip these songs too, because on the album you get Powerslave then Rhyme. On this one you get Rhyme then Powerslave. I'm not sure what the thinking on that was. Maybe that little intro, because when they do it live, Bruce has that feathered mask on and he goes up the top and the flame comes up when he starts to sing. Which visually is just like cool as fuck. Song is fantastic. Next track, Number of the Beast, always great. I never thought of that, Sonny, about the Who, and now you can't unhear
it, right? It's like
I know. I don't hate them as much as you do. I'm not a huge fan of them, but I do get it now that you said that. I never thought of that. See, he always tries to find something to hate on.
What do you find? It shows itself.
He just wants to try to ruin stuff, Steve.
I know. He's an enemy of fun. But I like this one too, because on the video, when Adrian does the solo, when it like comes back in, when Adrian's playing that solo, Bruce comes out with Dave on his shoulders.
Yeah,
playing. I mean, I think that's kind of a cool visual. Great side 2. Absolutely great side 2. I love it. Sonny's going to take over side 3, I think.
All right, so we got 4 songs on side 3. Starts by Hallowed Be Thy Name. You know, we're back to the spooky. Should be on every rocker's Halloween playlist, probably. Bruce can be very opera. He can be very musical theater. You know, he plays to that well. Again, Maiden gets a pass because I walk out on other bands that start doing that stupid shit. But the live album version of this song brings a whole new energy to the song that the original studio version really can't make up. Iron Maiden from the first album, you know what? I'm not a big Di'Anno fan at all. And I don't usually go back to those 2 albums. This is the one song that I don't think Bruce can pull off. It sounds weird, him singing it. It's a little too punk, if it makes sense. And Paul sounds better doing a song that's more punk. So Bruce almost sounded lazy. And then he was almost trying too hard. And it's like, dude, this song doesn't need this. This is straight ahead. And so then when he does that, he sounds lazy because he doesn't got the opera thing going on with it. So the music's dead on, but this isn't the version of Iron Maiden that I go to. Run to the Hills always comes off great live. Bruce sounds completely different, right? Because it's one of his songs. So now the energy's back. I guess it makes sense. It's one of his songs. And to me, Run to the Hills is one of the best songs on this album. Short and sweet, hits you in the head. It's a hit. They did it great. It's done, right? And it's like, okay, it deserves to be what it is. Running Free. Song is always so big live. And I love the Bruce version versus Paul. I don't need 5 minutes of the scream for me shit, right? It's great live. There's 18 goddamn songs on this album. Like, you didn't need to put this in here. So I remember I bought the LP and I'm like, how do I move it to where I'm going to listen to this shit, right? And so then you're stuck. CD. Yeah, that's what I ended up doing, is buying the CD. Because that's how it should have been on the album. Like, for all the great things EMI and Martin Birch and all those guys are doing, you don't have to leave this in. It does nothing for the listener. Because you have to visually try to figure out what's happening. It's not worth doing. Could you imagine if they left the Paul splitting and he's not saying nothing on the thing. You just get like dead silence, and half the crowd going yeah, and he's doing is pointing, but you don't see it. So all you're hearing, it's like dead space. Makes no sense to me. It's a complete waste of time. So the CD version is actually better.
That edit's terrible.
The edit is not good.
It's terrible. It is. I get it.
So bad. Yeah.
They got to figure out a way to edit it to where you don't need this shit.
Yeah.
That's just all there is to it. So to me, it's 4 great songs. The problem is I like the Diano version of Iron Maiden better, and they ruin fucking Running Free with the middle shit. Let's go to Brad next.
Yeah, so 4 great songs here. I've already mentioned that I got into or introduced to the Diano era songs, at least on this live album, from this live album. So I kind of think of Bruce with these songs. Obviously the production, I'm just not a fan of the production of the first album. So Iron Maiden and Running Free sound way better, way more oomph to both of them. Hallowed Be Thy Name is great. He actually nails that intro, the running low part. I mean, just fantastic. And some more Scream for Me Long Beaches in there, which is great. Already talked about Iron Maiden. You know, that song sounding great. Again, when you're listening to this and you kind of know what's going on stage, you can totally visualize it, which is awesome. Run to the Hills. So how funny, this has always made me laugh. So the Out on the Plains, and he says, let's sing it. And you don't hear anybody singing it. It's like crickets. It's always bothered me. I mean, the music is playing, you're not going to, but you couldn't hear anyone say we gave them hell. It's so funny. It's just like, no, nobody sang it, but it was really the music drowning it out. And then Running Free sounds fantastic. And it's on this album though. It's right when Run to the Hills ends. All of a sudden the drum intro to Running Free kicks in. Not sure if that's how they actually did it live, but it was the way they had it represented here. And yes, the breakdown's long, Sonny, and they don't need all of that stuff. But I mean, you crank that up and you feel like you are there. You feel like you're in the crowd, and love it, and always loved. Go to the hearing doctor and say, Long Beach fucked up my hearing for good. And, you know, Thursday didn't do it. Friday didn't do it. All that stuff. I think it's awesome. And the fact that it wasn't on the original release of the CD was a crime. So love it. And actually love that they ended with Running Free. Steve?
Yeah. Hallowed Be Thy Name. Sonny was totally correct. There's a whole new energy to this version on this. It is just in that after the solos, the part like that part at the end is so fucking awesome. And then you get Bruce doing bringing the crowd. You get that crowd swell at certain points. I absolutely love this version of it. The soloing is so crisp and clear. I hate now that Yannick, I know if he's a favorite of your guys on your podcast, Brad, he does the Adrian solos in this one live. I want Adrian doing Adrian solos. I'm sorry, Yannick, you have enough songs that you played on. Do your own. Don't do Adrian solos.
Don't do any Yannick songs, though. What's he supposed to do?
Play rhythm. Dance over there and play rhythm. Don't play Adrian solo. Play some Dave solos, all right? Don't play Adrian solos. So it has a whole new energy. Iron Maiden, I'm not a fan of this song much at all. I hate the verses, the to my room. I hate that. I like the chorus. Oh well, whatever. I like that because you get the Iron Maiden. It's a chantable chorus at the end of it, but I hate the verses in it. I don't really care who sings it. I'm like, I mean, they got to play it. They never going to not play that song. Run to the Hills, excellent version. There's only one version that's on a Maiden album that I like better, and it's the one from the Hammersmith Odeon shows from the Beast on the Road tour. I think that, to me, that is the best recorded official Maiden version of Run to the Hills. But this one is absolutely fantastic. That man, when that soon as that as soon as that starts, you're like, yeah, here we go. And this was dropped from the set for years. There were like maybe 3 or 4 tours in a row where they didn't play this. And then when it came back, they're probably like, maybe we should have, probably just kept fucking playing this. But, absence makes the heart grow fonder, right? So you didn't hear it forever. Then when you finally hear it again, you're like, holy shit. All right, here we go. Running Free. And it's so weird now. I was listening to this today. I was at the drive-thru at the bank, and this song was on. And, the teller comes to the little screen there, and I forgot to turn it down, and it's like, run and free, and I'm like, sorry. So I turn it down. They're like, what are you listening to? But these days, I hate crowd participation shit. I fucking hate it. Drives me insane. I don't like it, but I love it on this. I don't know why, and I missed it when it was on the CD, but God, we went to see Priest once, and Breaking the Law, Halford didn't sing at all. He had the whole crowd just sing fucking Breaking the Law. I'm like, I paid to see you sing. I'm not here I'll sing along with you, but I'm not singing for you. But I love Running Free on this. I don't know why. And like I said, I hate it nowadays. However, if I had a choice to boot a song off of this and put a song that they've done for an encore, I would put Sanctuary here instead of Running Free.
Well, they played it on this tour.
Yeah, it just didn't make anything. That's on here. Yeah. So, all right, I think everybody went on that. So I will wrap up with side 4 from the Hammersmith Odeon, and these ones were recorded October of 1984. So this was early in the tour. And opens up with Rat Child, the only song that's on here from Killers, which is good or bad depending on your thoughts. Like Sonny said, Murders in the Rue Morgue would have been a cool song to throw in there somewhere. Wrathchild, I like it. I was never a great fan of this song to begin with, and actually, there's they skip the lead parts in this song because after the one part, there's a lot of leads that Dave did. They're not on this version. They don't play that on here. It's missing. I was going down the road today. I'm like, this song is missing something, and they're missing the lead playing that's in this song. It's just straight up without that part in it. Yeah, give it a listen, and you'll know what I'm talking about. 22 Acacia Avenue is the next song. One of my favorite Maiden songs. I absolutely fucking love this song. I love the time changes, when that kicks in, man, and this is another song. I saw them play this live. They played it live when I saw them in '83, and they didn't play it again for years. This was another one that I hadn't seen in years, and I was just so pumped up when I got to see them play it live again. One of my favorite Maiden songs, Children of the Damned. This was one that I had never seen played before till within the last 10 years. Absolutely love it. The soloing in it is just absolutely freaking killer. Die With Your Boots On, another Sonny Pooni favorite. I know that he absolutely fucking loves this song. I actually think this song is fantastic. I love it. I always one of my go-to, because I'm never against anything that's on Peace of Mind. I don't give a shit if it's fucking Quest for Fire. If it's from Peace of Mind, I'm down with it. Love it. And then Phantom of the Opera, the first time I ever heard this song was on the radio. They were broadcasting it might have been King Biscuit or one of those radio concert things, and they were touring with Priest in '82, and it was from the Palladium in New York. And I had it on cassette, and of course, like every other cassette, what happens is get fucking eaten after listening to it 1,000 times. But I remember that from that, and I was finally a modern live version, because there's a couple ones on a couple of the singles that they put out when Paul Diano was still in the band, but this was one that besides my tape that got eaten years ago, this was one that I was finally able to have a copy of Phantom of the Opera with Bruce singing it. And I don't know we'll see how Sonny's feelings are on this one, but I like how Bruce sings this one. I don't think it has that punk feel like other Iron Maiden stuff does, like the Iron Maiden thing. We'll see what Sonny's got to say, but I really like this version. I love the time changes in it. Then it's got that kind of little triumphant feel to it. Fantastic. I love side 4. I was so fucking pissed when the CD came out and these songs weren't on there, but got them now. All right, Sonny.
All right, so Wrathchild, the version is fierce as ever. I love Straight Ahead Maiden, and this is exactly what this is, and Bruce sings it well. 22 Acacia Avenue, the songs just sound so huge, and this is no different. It's like they never played anything but stadiums. It's like you would never see this band in a club that feels so huge already. Another great rendition. Children of the Damned, like by now, if you're not impressed with this album, just move on. You don't like Maiden. That's okay, right? But what Bruce sounds great. The band is tight as fuck. What else you want, right? Like, so Children of the Damned is one of my favorite songs. No, but they do it really well here. Die with Your Boots On, dude. I'm dying with my woman on top of me, and I'm not gonna have any boots on. Like if you want to die, I guess die with your boots on. I just don't understand the fucking song. It's so stupid. Right? I just never understood. I don't care if it's on Pizza Mind. And then Phantom of the Opera. This is where I'm talking about this, and we don't know this for a fact, but it's very possible that this was the song where Bruce is in the audience saying, I can sing better than that guy. Right? We know that there's a story where he sees them live, and then he goes up to the guys and says, hey, I know that's your singer, but I can sing better than that guy. And I think he was looking at stuff like this because this needs the opera, the skull in the hand. It's a musical theater type song, and it needs that, and Di'Anno doesn't have that. So this is the only version of Phantom of the Opera I listen to. I don't like the original, and I don't like any of the other versions. Because this is young, hungry, him taking a song to a next level just by his vocal. Now, would I have closed this album with Phantom of the Opera? Probably not. Because if you want the listener to kind of get a feel for that this was, a show, then you want to end with a banger. You probably want to end with Run to the Hills. So I probably would have rearranged this a little bit. But that being said, Nickel kills it on the song and Bruce kills it on the song. Could I do without side 4? Yeah, I would want Wrathchild somewhere, right? So you got to bump one of these other songs out. And I probably would want Phantom somewhere. So those two songs would need to be somewhere else in the disc, and I can live without side 4. But if it's going to be the way it is, I just skip over If You're Going to Die. If you're going to die. If you feel like dying, then die with your boots on. Like, I don't understand. It has no punch at all.
You're wrong.
Oh my God.
You're wrong. You're wrong. So side 4. So this is the deeper cut side, obviously, right? So two Di'Anno songs with Bruce singing them, and I think he does great on both of them. 22 Acacia Avenue. Again, the introductions of these songs, 22, just so great. But here's something funny about 22 Acacia Avenue. So on the studio version, I know a place where we can go, right? Go, the delay, go. He does it himself here. Would they forget to pay the sound guy? It sounds terrible. I hate it. Every time I hear that, it's like
there's not a true echo.
Jesus, It's not a true echo. He actually is repeating. He's repeating it. Children of the Damned, obviously a more mid-tempo, right? Slower. They slow it down a little bit, but heavy. Obviously, when those guitars kick in, it's great. Die with Your Boots On and Phantom. I think the backing vocals in both of those songs sound better here than they do on the studio version, which you normally wouldn't say because you think you could polish stuff up and make it sound, so great in the studio, which obviously they tinkered with this as well. But I think the backing vocals are awesome on both of these last two songs. So yeah, I like this disc 4, but it's kind of confusing to me because the first 3 sides, or side 4, not disc 4, but the first 3 sides, that's kind of the show, right? And then you've got this bonus side of these deeper cuts that only England got. I don't think they were playing all these songs when they came to the States. If you look at the set list, I don't think they were doing all these. So England gets these, and that's fine. But yeah, I think I like it, but treat it more as a kind of a bonus than just part of the album as a whole. But yeah, love hearing these songs live, and especially the Di'Anno era stuff with Bruce singing. He kills it.
All right, there you have it. Powerslave and Live After Death, like right in the getting to the main popularity of Iron Maiden in the mid '80s. You couldn't touch these guys. I mean, they played when they recorded for the Long Beach Arena one. That was like 4 nights there, 4 nights to Hammersmith.
Yeah,
they were just like crushing it. Can a band do that these days? Not many. Not many. I know one of Sonny's favorite bands, Rush, is coming back out. They're adding dates to. They've not added any other cities to their tour, but they've added other dates, more dates to some of the cities that they had there. But I don't even know if Maiden could do that now. I would say maybe Maiden, say if they play like Philly, New York, they could probably do like 2 nights, but I don't know about 4. Or if they would even entertain that. And one thing that I always thought about Maiden that Rush does, and Dream Theater is doing that now too, is An Evening With. I go to see Iron Maiden, I don't give a fuck who opens for them. I don't care. I just don't care. I don't want to see fucking Raven Age ever again. I didn't give a shit about The Who. That Who is Pooh too, Sonny. H-U instead of WHO. Not a fan of either one, because when we saw them, we just kind of were like, fuck The Who. We're just going to have
we were in the lot.
And
we were in the parking lot.
I don't give a flying fuck about any band that opens up for Iron Maiden. And they're a band that can pull it off. They could play a couple longer songs and take an intermission. Take a fucking break in the middle. There's nothing wrong with that. The bands that are doing that do that. I don't know. I never understood why they have not done that in the last couple of years. But I mean, God, Rush was doing that in the early 2000s. They were doing that. Like when they came back with Vapor Trails, they didn't have an opening band since actually they were doing it for Test for Echo was the first year that they did that. So that was, awesome. It's so good to go and not see an opening band. So final thoughts, and we'll get up on the hell out of here. Sonny, and then give GRU and PRC, give it a good plug. Why not?
Yeah. So final thoughts, Powerslave, great album. Do I go to it? I probably 3 songs make a playlist. So the 2 hits and then Powerslave probably. Live After Death, one of the best live albums I own. One of the best live albums probably of all time when it's all in totality. The songs are a little bit faster than the studio songs. That happens to everybody. Most all live albums that we've heard, that is true for. Most of the Di'Anno songs are better with Bruce singing, in my opinion. And because I rarely go to the first 2 albums, I need these live type of albums because I want those songs, but I want Bruce singing them. Could they sell out 4 nights in New York? I think so. Because they sell out every time they play in Columbus, the tickets last like 23 minutes. Like you can't get a ticket in Columbus, right? So, but the way they would have to do it though, is you're there Friday, Saturday, and then you're there Wednesday, Thursday, and you tell your fans that you are going to do 2 completely different set lists. So that way you have an opportunity to go to both shows. And they could sell out 4 shows. Easy. Do they need to do it? Fuck no. They don't need it, so they ain't doing it, right? And I don't think they want to play much, and I think that's why Bruce is out there, because it's like Bruce doesn't want to stop, and I think the other guys are like, I think we're done with this, right? So Dave has said he wanted to retire a long time ago, right? So that's going to happen. Growing Up Rock, going great, 8 years. I deserve a medal for dealing with that shithead for 8 years. Podcast Rock City, it's going great. It's been around forever. I've been on there 8 years. And, with Ace passing now, that it'll always be a little bit sadder every time we talk about Ace on that show, right? It just won't be the same anymore. I'm an Ace guy. Ace was my guy from the beginning. But I'm nothing, if I'm not transparent and honest, Ace has been a kind of a pain the last 4 or 5 years, whether it's how he's playing, whether it's what he's saying. But I'm a guy that, look, I remember that Ace, and I just want to keep remembering that Ace, and that's good enough for me. But when it comes down to it, everything I got in this room that's got the 4 guys, if it's 4 figures, Ace is in front. If it's a thingy where there's a stage built behind me, Ace is singing. So I'm pretending Shock Me's happening right now, right? That if it's the posters I got, Ace is at the top, Peter's at the bottom. That just who I am, because Ace has always been my guy. So,
all right, Brad.
Yeah, thanks, Steve, for reaching out when you needed a lifeboat or a something to help you out with these. Yeah, this was a blast. And as you mentioned, this was they were rising, right? Put out Powerslave and then do a live album. And like I said, this is what I came in real time, as these albums were coming out. I was a fan. So obviously great to cover these. I mentioned Powerslave's not one of my favorite albums as a whole. I mean, it's got 4 really, really good songs on it, which were represented on this live album as well. And you guys have already mentioned just how epic this live album is. I mean, mid 80s. I mean, there's a lot of live albums coming out, and this one stands above most of them. So great time. Slam Fest. Yeah. I mean, am I the 5th Beatle or the 6th Beatle? Because Sonny's got to be the 5th, or which one am I? Am I 5th or 6th?
I'll give you the 6th because Sonny was on before you were on.
Yeah. And Sonny's on. God, he's just a media whore, right?
Why we put up with him, I still don't know.
Because I keeps it real. That's why
we love him.
So everyone listening, that you've heard me on before, but yeah, Slam Fest coming out still, weekly somehow. I'm with Potter Than Hell. I've not missed a week, and that's with doing most episodes recording on a weekly basis. So come out Thursday morning, but. So Sonny, ended with talking a little bit more about Ace. Yeah, Ace was my guy, 5 or 6 years old when I got into the band, and I kind of went towards Paul because I like Paul's songwriting, better, and his voice probably better. But Ace was my guy. Saw him with Kiss 10 times and saw Ace solo 9 times, but hadn't seen him since 22. I kind of checked out with the performances and not taking anything away from his band, but I kind of stopped seeing him. And but yeah, he was my guy out of the original 4. So rest in peace, Ace.
All right, yeah, guys, thank you so much for pinch hitting tonight. I appreciate it. It was cool doing it this way. It was different from for the many 2x2s I've done throughout the years. I do AC/DC with Brad, and I do Y&T with Sonny, and these guys, you guys know these guys. They're on for a bunch of other stuff too, and I really appreciate you coming on. Yeah, Powerslave. I'm with Brad. I'm a 4-song guy from that album, and not one of my favorite. It doesn't hit my top. Definitely doesn't hit my top 5 of Maiden albums for sure, but it's great that the songs that are on there, that's the test of time. They're still playing them to this day, songs from that album. And Live After Death, one of the, if not the greatest metal live albums ever put out, bar anyone, even Saxon Sonny. but absolutely stellar. The production is fantastic on it. You can put that in there, and that's an album I think that too. And I'm sure you guys are probably the same way, that you just get sick and listen to the same shit all the time. But this album you can put on and it sounds fresh every time you put it on. You don't get fatigued from it. But it's not one that you throw on every day. But it's one of them that if you can't decide what to listen to, you put this on and you're totally satisfied. And as far as Ace goes, rest in peace, Ace. I was always a Paul guy. And I've seen Ace a ton of times. Last was maybe a year ago. We went up with Granza and BC and Richie up to Connecticut, and Slaughter opened up. So we skipped Slaughter and watched Asia in the other venue in the hotel. But Ace was good that night. So I've seen a couple dud shows from Ace. I'm sure, all of us that has seen him in the last couple of years has hit at least one of them shows where you left there going what the fuck? But the last Ace show that I saw was a good one. We left there going, he was really good tonight. It wasn't one of those ones you're just left shaking your head. You went more of shaking a fist, yeah, you know what I mean? It was a good one. So he'll be missed, and you're going to be inundated with Ace stuff from now till at least the end of the year. What's going to happen with the Kennedy Center stuff now? It's going to be a huge thing with you guys will be in Vegas in a couple of weeks. And so that's going to be a main thing out there. And so, we'll see the tributes will be coming along. And like I said, we're going to be doing what you guys would have seen last week, our Kiss Crew episode. So once again, thanks guys, appreciate it. Check out Growing Up Rock. They come out every Sunday morning. Check out Podcast Rock City. They're live every Sunday night, and then the podcast comes out during the week. Brad every Thursday, Slam Fest. My Thursday go-to, my Sunday go-to. Podcast Rock City I kind of hit in the middle of the week whenever I don't know if Joe's steadfast of when that actually comes out, but I do catch it when it does come out, usually the middle of the week. Love you guys, appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time tonight. And everybody out there, hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody has a good fall. Holiday season's coming up. Rest in peace, Ace. And everybody, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. We will see you next time. And there definitely will be a next time.